So for us, we set our brand back in the 1940s, World War II era, based on the mentality of people back then, of giving a damn about whatever it was that they did. And for us, that was super important. If we were going to put our name on something, that we made it from scratch. So, every drop of Old Glory bourbon and whiskey is ground, mashed, fermented, distilled, barreled, aged right here on site.
I'm your host, Jeff Sart. We're going to take you behind the scenes with the craft distillers who are pouring their heart and soul into crafting the next version of America's spirit. This is the Great American Whiskey Cookers. There was a time period when people gave a damn about what they made. They put their name on it to represent who they were and so that others knew they were getting a quality product. They stood behind what they made. That's what you're going to find at Old Glory Distilling. Matt Cunningham and crew are serious about making good whiskey. If it's got the Old Glory name on it, you know it stands for something. Welcome to this episode of the Great American Whiskey Cookers. I am here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'm talking with Matt Cunningham, founder and owner of Old Glory Distilling, and we're learning all about Old Glory. So let's talk about getting this thing going.
Sure.
Right? We've seen your pot still, and it's a 500-gallon pot still.
Yep. Started off on a 500-gallon Vendome pot still, cooking in 1,000-gallon batches, 1,000-gallon fermenters, and that 500-gallon pot still. So in the very beginning, that first year, we probably only laid down somewhere between 50 and 100 barrels that year, and we did that as cash flow allowed.
Sure.
And then slowly increased production until we brought in a whole new system where we really started laying down.
How did you get to whiskey? Because I know that your path is not a normal path or a genealogical path.
Sure. No family background or anything.
Right. You don't come from a family of distillers.
No. But probably like a lot of you guys out there, it started off out of curiosity of a product that I really enjoyed. I was really young when I got into bourbon. I'll state I was 21 years old when I got into bourbon, and really got excited about the different flavors that were out there. At the time, this was good grief, 15 years ago, I guess, close to it anyway, where the craft bourbon movement hadn't really started.
Yeah,
it was in its infancy.
Yeah,
at that
just
point.
getting going.
And so the amount of product available on the market was your very traditional big guys, and loved tasting through those flavor profiles, but knew about some of these craft distilleries around the country that were opening up. I just graduated from college, moved back home to my hometown here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and really at that time, young, entrepreneurial, wanted to start something here in Clarksville that our town could be proud of and put us on the map. So I put together a business plan to start a distillery here in Clarksville, and like all business plans, they all work on paper.
Yep. Yeah.
And so put that together, and one thing led to another. We can dive into it, but that's kind of what got us to square zero of starting this thing off.
So let's talk about cash flow.
Sure.
Right? How much, if you're willing to tell me, what it cost you to get started, to get going?
Good grief.
Or even give me a ballpark.
Yeah. So
because if I want to start my own distillery, and I want to do a building, something like, because you built this building.
We did. So, everybody's route to market and route to opening is different.
Right.
We could have chosen another building that was already available for rent, for example, and built it out. My dad was a contractor all of his life. So he and I and my younger brother, Wes, we built this building from the ground up to be a distillery, and we did all too many things ourselves to get to this point. And as much as we learned about that, learned along the way doing that, you spend a lot more time as you're learning.
Yeah, you do.
To get off the ground.
So did you learn some things not to do?
we learn more not to do than what to do. That's for sure. I think most people will tell you that who take on things themselves. But that's also what got us where we are today.
Sure.
It's that journey that got us to where we are today. So, back to your question of a number, for us, that number involved the building itself, which is all local bank financed here from a local bank here in Clarksville, Legends Bank, who they're still a partner for us today.
That's great.
Very, very thankful for that partnership relationship with them. And then as far as the working capital to get off the ground, we really did bootstrap that.
Yeah.
We probably started off with way less than we should have and needed to get going. But you do what you got to do to get started. And so we did start off and still have products that are not Old Glory branded with some vodka, moonshine, gin, white rum that we do still produce. But those are not our primary Old Glory products. Those are not Old Glory products at all.
They're a cash flow product just to bring in some cash to make the business.
They were in the beginning, and now those brands, they live and run on their own.
That's cool.
So when you come and visit us here at the distillery, you can still taste those brands, but those are not Old Glory products.
Right.
But those products are out in the market, and they live on their own as well.
It's cool. So you started what year again?
2016 is when we officially opened our doors in October of 2016. We filled our first barrel early 2017.
Okay. So are you profitable? Are you in the black, or are you still running in the red?
No, we are profitable now. We've been profitable for a few years. So it definitely took a few years.
Yeah, it did.
At that point.
What was the hardest hurdle in getting the distillery up and running?
So I think I'll go back a little bit and talk about the financing piece. So put together this business plan, tried to go through the SBA originally, got approved on a local, regional level, and then went to Washington for that final level, and that they declined it flat out there. And reasonably so. I was a 22-year-old at the time with no distilling experience, starting a distillery, which at the time was still relatively new of a new concept. So had to go back, relook at how we were going to finance the deal. Legends Bank, who we talked about earlier, they took on a much larger portion, and then SBA ended up funding a very small equipment loan for our initial equipment.
Oh, sure.
To get up and going, and then working capital was all on us.
So you really had to hump it for a while.
Well, we did, and it took, and we're still doing that.
Yeah.
It is a grind. It has been a grind. It's still a grind. Everything that we do today.
The Old Glory brand name means what?
So for us, we set our brand back in the 1940s, World War II era, based on the mentality of people back then of giving a damn about whatever it was that they did. We've talked a lot in the past about it didn't matter what you did, you took a lot of pride in that. And for us, that was super important. But if we were going to put our name on something, that we made it from scratch. So, every drop of Old Glory bourbon and whiskey is ground, mashed, fermented, distilled, barreled, aged right here on site.
You've never sourced?
We've never sourced a barrel of whiskey for any of our brands.
And so that was a commitment from the get-go, because that's a conscious decision that you made. So for 4 years, you held it.
So we released some product really early from our bottle shop in some really small barrels that if you came by, you could taste some of it. But we did not, and still have not, started really distributing what are our flagship products and flagship brands until now, where we're going on 9 years old right now. And so we wanted to make sure that it was ready and it was up to par before we sent it out.
Love it. So do you still look forward to coming into work?
I still look forward to coming to work almost every day. Every day would be a lie. But no, it still is a ton of fun. I love growing this brand, and we've said for a while now, and I still feel this way, we feel like we're just crossing the starting line. Even though we've been here, this will be 9 years this year. we just now feel like our bourbon Tennessee whiskey is really ready to start distributing. And so currently we're only available in Middle Tennessee. And we're just now starting to spread outside of Middle Tennessee with our distribution now that we have the volume of barrels that are appropriately aged product ready to do it with.
And appropriately aged, there's a couple things I want to ask you here, but let's talk about appropriately aged. What does that mean?
So for us, we have 3 different expressions of our 2 mash bills: a small batch, a bottled and bond, and single barrel. So our small batch is approaching 4 years old. That'll be a minimum. Our bottled and bond is currently at a 5-year. Once it starts really going out to market, it'll be a 6-year-old product. And then our single barrels are 7, 8 years old.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. So tell me, if someone wants to find out about Old Glory, or if they want to get the whiskey, how do they do that?
So the best place, if you don't live here in Middle Tennessee, is through our website. We can ship, or we work with a company that allows us to ship to most states. That's through another distributor in another state. It's not something that we can ship here. But other than that, really asking your local liquor stores about us is super, super helpful. So
Fantastic. Now, you can find us at thegreatamericanwhiskeycookers.com. Like us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can go to Patreon and become a member and see some behind the scenes stuff. And a big thank you to our Patreon members. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you very much. Go to YouTube, like, subscribe, ring the bell. You know how all that works. Until next time, if you can't be good at it. See ya.